It's Dave Austin here, and today I have a very, very special guest. Guy's incredible, Dr. Aaron Garcia. And I learned about your work probably 2 years ago.
It's about that.
Yeah, we were friends, and then I learned more of what you're doing, and I'm really excited because today, as you've seen, what my title is emotional triggers. And there's good ones and there's bad ones. And I realize in working with our Beast training program, what we're doing is constantly giving you a trigger of right action. So when you're in a tough spot, when you really feel pressure, it's a trigger into right action. But on the other side of that, there are triggers that are emotional scars within us, that we have attachments way deep within us. And Aaron and his beautiful fiance Veronica have found a way to go and find those emotions or those triggers at whatever age or whatever lifetime they happen, and able to release the emotional pain within them so they no longer have a hold on you. You know, your subconscious mind is amazing. Such a great computer. It stores everything. Problem, the good news and the bad news, that's good news, but the bad news is it restores memories and things that maybe, you know, things that you didn't like that have happened in life. You don't even know. All of a sudden you act in a way that you're like, why did I act that way? And so sometimes when I have clients, whether they're pro athletes or executives, what I'll do is I'll send them over to Aaron and Veronica, because they have this magical way of helping them release the triggers, you know, of emotional pain. And then when it's it's removed, it's much easier for me then to come in and give the Beast trigger that fills that void. So tell us a little bit. I mean, what an awesome to have you here today. Many times when I do my when I do my Extreme Focus certification program, I bring Aaron in, and boy, he's had NFL quarterbacks on their knees crying. Never expected it. Major League Baseball players. And the first time I had you do it, and I had some executives, really bright guys, just sitting watching. They got emotionally attached. You know, you were touching buttons in everyone, not just the person you're working with.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about how that's all working.
Well, it's a phenomenal process. It's something that I've worked on with myself. We've worked on with many clients, and what I have discovered over the years with my fiance Veronica, who's filming part of this for us right now, and she's going to be part of our videos later, is, you know, the things that we want to do in life, whether it's in like you said, you use athletes. We've done this for patients as well, with healing in your business, if it's finances that you're struggling with, or even if it's trying to build great relationships with people. Is if you're not attracting what it is that you want, there's usually a subconscious block that might be going on. So what we've found is, when we start to dig deeper, asking the proper questions, and we'll actually do specialized testing, using a lot of energy work when we're doing one-on-one work with people, and we can actually identify exactly what that trigger is that keeps coming up that they're not even aware of.
No, it absolutely. Last week when I did my Facebook Live, I did it on being line into your vision, and I think this follows up that so perfectly, because we don't even know why we're challenged with something. You know, why aren't we aligned? But then you guys go in. Very interesting how you do it. I mean, you go in, and part of it is just your years of doing it. Part of it is your intuition to find. You know, you go back and talk a little bit about the process.
Yeah. So what we'll do is somebody will come in with a challenge, and I'll use a real life example that we worked with somebody the other week, who wanted to attract a great relationship in his life. And it's something that we worked on a few times for people, and it got great results. And what we found out, that he was attracting the wrong people into his life. You know, people that just weren't right for him, and eventually the relationship went just the wrong direction. And he found that he kept attracting the same person over and over again. And he didn't understand why, and he thought like he had identified exactly what he wanted. But when we went in and started working with him, we started to identify that through our testing, we can actually ask the subconscious mind, are you okay with this or are you not? And so our rational mind, our conscious mind will say, like, yeah, I'm perfectly fine with having this. But then when we start asking the subconscious, that's the emotional side of everything. And it was like, no, I'm not okay with having it was a healthy relationship. you can be in a relationship, but being in a healthy relationship was the trigger. And we brought it all the way back to when that pattern was created, and we discovered that when he was younger, his parents were going through a divorce. And how many people have experienced this either as kids or kids that are probably going through that right now, that becomes very traumatic, and the perception that goes on through the child's mind, which is all subconscious at that time, now gets ingrained, whether a good or a bad experience, if we talk about good or bad triggers, but his became a negative, and so all he saw within that relationship was all the bad. And so that's in his subconscious mind was the imprint of what a relationship was like, and energetically he just kept attracting something similar into his life.
Same thing goes like in business. You wonder why sometimes you keep having the same patterns hit. You know, financially you're like pretty good, and then you have this hit, and then you have that hit. It's absolutely fascinating. That's why I love what I do, being involved in studying what makes us, you know, the human spirit of who we are. You know, my partner Tony Boda, who I saw is on, he's writing some amazing articles right now on the discoveries, and a lot of what we've been doing in Beast Mode, now science is catching up to it. It's like, you know, this is how you, now I even understand why Navy SEALs or Army Rangers love our program so much. But what you're talking about, and I found even, I've worked with Aaron and Veronica, and there's things that you know, when I talked last week about being aligned, I wasn't aligned with making money. I was aligned with doing all kinds of good things. But, you know, you find something that's somewhere in your life that you go, oh my gosh. And when you, that's why you have tears. It's like all of a sudden you're going, oh my gosh, fourth grade, I was this, and all of a sudden you start seeing something because you visually, they take you right there and you feel it. But that's, you know, crying is not a bad thing. You know, it's like helping you, I think, get the emotional scar, you know, where it doesn't have that emotional attachment, because once you see it, see, it's dark where you can't see that which is stopping you. Once you see it, if you put light to it, and with the process you guys use, it doesn't have that hold on you.
Yeah. And so how that happens is when you have these experiences in your life, whether it's a young child in your teenage years, young adulthood, if it's the first time experience, and let's say it becomes a negative type of an experience. And so the mind has to sit there and gather all of the information, and if you're having a lot of challenges with that, whether it makes you angry, makes you sad, grief, etc., then that's the imprint that gets put into the subconscious. And then that event goes away, the fire goes down, and then it could be years later, you know, 10 years from now or so, that something similar happens that resembles that past event. And your subconscious mind, it's like it pulls that file out and says, this is the way you're going to react. And so your whole physiology will start to change, because it's reliving that same experience over and over again. And this is why people will tend to avoid certain situations, because they feel that emotional trigger come up and then they retreat. Or there's some people that may just push through that the best that they can and overcome that. But most people are not aware of their own triggers. I find triggers that come up with me all the time. I'm glad we have this work, just like yourself.
Well, we many times, the whole family uses Aaron and Veronica. You know, just things happen, you know, happen in life. You know, it's like even the first time, like with Shane, who's now, you know, an MVP quarterback in his pro rank, you know, out there. He had always kind of kept being the backup. So what's causing you to be the backup? You never know. And I don't even know if we had an exact discovery, but something triggered in that moment when you brought it out that, you know, that's when he went on to Cleveland, became the starting quarterback, became the MVP, and then now with his, you know, going over to China with the new professional football league and becoming the MVP of football in China and becoming the face of it. You know, you don't even know you have these little, and sometimes they're so little, but when you clear them, it's just night and day difference, because now it frees you. It frees you to move forward, frees you to step up and be able to go on. So that when it hits again, I will tell you this, you still have it there. So when it hits again, there's, you know, this is why it's good. I know that a lot of the people you see keep coming back to you, because it's a work in progress, because you've had it for however old you are, you know, or wherever it happened, it stayed with you. So one, becoming aware of it, I think, is really important.
Key.
But then two, having some kind of support system to clear that emotional charge. And then, you know, I've had you work with, gosh, PJ golfers. I've had you work with other pro baseball. I've had you with executives, and so it just, what it's done for me as having you guys as a resource is that now when we put in the beast mode animal triggers, which instantly goes to right action, and I found that it's helped me personally be able to utilize my own teachings for myself better and faster.
And I'll piggyback off that, because using the beast mode principles has also helped our work, because we got to a point where we were clearing a lot of emotional triggers for people, and we found that they would feel better. They would go into their same situation. It wasn't like it had changed. They just didn't react in the same way. It's like what used to make them really worried and anxious, now they could be calm, but they really didn't change much past that. And when we started understanding more of the beast mode principles that you taught us, now we got to implant the new pattern, the new programming, because that person has been so conditioned for so long, it's become habitual, and to change the habit. But it makes it go so much faster and smoother now to be able to implement those once we clear that.
And it's funny too, because I don't know if it was you or one of Shane, as many of you know, my one son just got married here a couple weeks ago, and it was a big wedding. And it was funny, someone asked him, says, well, Shane, what animal are you going to use going to the wedding? He goes, I'm using the whole frickin' zoo, every single one of them. Because micro moments, as Tony Bodo's been writing about, there's micro moments. And so in this micro moment, RESPA is the ideal. Gratty, and if you haven't ever done the beast mode, if you haven't read Be a Beast, do yourself a favor and read it so you know what we're talking about. These are triggers that are positive triggers, where we're talking about negative triggers that you have in. They do a brilliant job of removing those triggers, or mainly the emotional attachment to them. And then it just makes it easier then to move right into right action, because life is going to keep happening. Today, at this very moment, this is the last time you'll see me at this incredible home. We have loved this home. We leased this home in Rancho Santa Fe, and the owners decided to sell it, so we're moving today. And there's a lot of emotional things going on, and it's also, it's stressful moving, and especially when you love something so much. But we just know that the best is yet to come, and we take that. But I use RESPA, I use gratitude, I use each one of our positive triggers, so we just calmly move through this. Koala bear, it's a perfect, it amazes me. I've seen how much I've changed because I've incorporated these triggers now so easily, and I've done it over and over again. So just as the old ones that you got stored in there, you repeat yourself. Well, now I'm finding that it's so much easier for me just to step into the right, or I call them winning habits. And it's just something, it's a practice. It's anything you do it over and over and over again. That's what's going to create what I call a winning habit. Add anything else you want to add?
Yeah, and I know we're talking about the principles, and one thing you've taught us is, just before we were coming out here and getting set up for this video, is I saw a butterfly sitting right here on this bush. In fact, it's still there as I'm looking at it. And I know that's one of the animal principles in your elite program when you go past the 30-day Beast Mode Challenge, and also the book. And you taught us that means enlightenment, but also I know that the butterfly means for transformation. So usually, like when we're making big changes in our life, it can seem challenging, it can seem hard, but when you go back and look at it in the future, you realize that sometimes that's the best thing that could have happened to us, even though it's a challenging experience. But all of our experiences in our past have led us to this point to make us who we are, because if the stuff that happened to me never happened, I don't know if I'd be here today.
Well, exactly. It's so true. Many times, going back, because, most of a lot of my background has been in sports, but, now I do so many companies that, we just transform the company because they start seeing things differently through new eyes. And so you start experiencing, even when it seems difficult, I always say, well, hey, there must be a good in this, always. And like I have a young golfer right now that he had a bad round, and I said, well, it's awesome. How can you say awesome? Before, he used to beat himself up, he'd take himself down. I said, because you're meant to be the #1 golfer in the world. I truly believe he will be the #1 golfer in the world. And he knows it at a deep level, but he's needing to go through some things right now so that he can step into that. So at this tournament, yeah, you didn't qualify for the U.S. Open by one shot, but that's okay, because we'll find what we're gonna. You're not just in it to this U.S. Open. You're in it for a long career. So what did we pick up from this so that we're even better? And now that he's starting to think that way, all of a sudden you start seeing, oh my gosh, look at this, look what's happening. And that's how, even with the scenario I just talked about here, is that moving can be very stressful. And I'm not going to say it isn't, but we know we have something really brilliant around the corner that we just decided not to buy the house. They wanted to sell it. We love the house, but there's some deficiencies that we just decided that we just said, all right, well, let's just up level. That's one thing that Kathy and I have done over the last few years, is that even if you love something, there can be something better.
There's always more.
And I never look to moving sideways. I always look to be moving, somehow higher, whatever that looks like. And I trust in that. I have faith in that. And that's, like you just said, I wouldn't even be here right now if some of the things that have happened to you in your life, we wouldn't be here doing this. And so there's these micro moments that, and you haven't read anything, there's a blog out right now that Tony Bodo wrote, look for it. It's brilliant. And he's just doing a new one. Well, next week we'll release it, a blog where he ties in now the animal triggers to go along with each of those micro moments.
Nice.
And it's awesome, because that's what life is. We're living moment to moment to moment. And in this moment, your decision that you make right now will have an impact not just on you, but it could have an impact on many. And sometimes, you have to take courage to make some of these decisions that are maybe out of your comfort zone. But I'll tell you what, if you get a chance ever, if you really want to explore, maybe something that you've never even thought about, but you want to explore finding something in you that's a block. I'll tell you, Aaron and Veronica are the best I've ever met at it. There's a lot of people that do this, different modalities, but for me, I've been around a lot. What they do, I'm a strong supporter of. So look them up. Clear Connect is the name of the company. So give the best way to connect to you guys.
Yeah, you can connect with us through Facebook, which is facebook.com/Clear Connect, and Connect is spelled KINECT. You can also go to clearconnect.com and look us up, read about us. We got a few things that are revamping and evolving on our website, so we're even putting together a program of ours where we're going to be doing some group stuff, and it's all going to be around building relationships. So stay tuned for that, and if you guys are interested, just let us know. Just send us a Facebook shout out or message, and we'll let you know when that comes out.
Perfect. So now we're going to get into the game ready part of this. This is what I do on Mondays. It's just pick, we have so many thoughts out there. Pick 3 things you want to focus in on right now. 3 intentions for this week. Part of what I mentioned about intentions is it's different from goals. Your intentions are how you're going to achieve your goals. It's more of your mindset. What are 3 intentions? For me, I want to in joy, even though this is a pain. It can be a pain in the butt. I try to keep away from saying that. I try to just stop and go, wow, think about the cool thing that we're moving into, the adventure we're going into. So my intention is to stay in the adventure rather than get lost in this is a lot of work. So that's why, so think about for you, what 3 intentions for this week are going to apply for you, what you're facing this week. Exactly what you're facing. So with that said, as you get tapped into that, I want you now to go ahead and close your eyes and just think about the things you're grateful for, because that which you grow, feed, is going to grow. That which you starve will die. And we really want to build upon a life of gratitude, because it is such a powerful tool to face any circumstance. Think about the things that you can really sit there and go, wow, I'm so grateful that, whatever it is. For me, I constantly think about, yesterday was Father's Day. Oh my gosh, my proudest moment, my biggest accomplishment in life is my 4 boys. You don't have to be a father, you can be whatever it is, but I think of those 4 boys and having them all together, I am incredibly grateful. And their beautiful and incredible mom, who I have the privilege of being married to. You know, so with that strength, it's awesome. But even if you're on your own, even if you're, you know, you have things to tap into and be grateful. You can even be grateful in advance for the incredible, you know, person you're going to meet, or the incredible business opportunity that's coming your way. It's all right to be grateful in advance, because that's how you start having it become who you are. Now, in the strength of that, with your eyes closed still, I want you to see a gate, pass through that gate. Now, as you pass through that gate, you come into this place that's so incredible, so beautiful, and you just tap into the beauty, the incredible beauty of where you put yourself in nature. Nature loves to be appreciated, so just look at the beauty and just smile and breathe it in. Take some really 4 or 5 deep breaths. Breathe that in and just feel the shift of powerful energy that you're tapping into. There's a source and a power beyond yours that you can just tap into. It can be that bigger you that shows up, that can take on. You're not just all by yourself. You're tapping into an energy that's so much strength and so much joy. So walk in that. And as you walk in and see another gate, and as you walk through that gate, boy, there you are in your life. And you see yourself, whatever it is that you're focused in on, see yourself being so dialed in and so aligned with it that, man, it's just fun. You're not having to wait to have joy. You're having it within the whole experience. So anything, even if it's challenging, even if it means reaching out to Aaron and Veronica, or reaching out and become a beast mode, you know, get excited about seeing that you have tools to achieve whatever you want. So now just take a breath in and feel what it feels like to just achieve that, and have a support system to do it, and stay in it. Life is continually happening. So just feel what that feels like to say, you know what, I've got myself aligned and it feels good. I got myself aligned and it feels awesome. And now when an old block comes up, just see yourself going, hey, yeah, it doesn't have the same hold. It doesn't have the same hold on you. And you feel it with the right action, winning habit. What a beautiful way to be. See yourself being that way. And seeing things almost like magically, everything is in your favor. Even at times when you have a challenging situation, see yourself just move through it and go, wow, what a gift. And now everything becomes a gift. Everything becomes a gift. See that and just own that. Now you can come back through the gate, come back into nature. It's such a beautiful place to come back to, see yourself living so fully, so achieving those that you desire. Things that maybe you blocked yourself from before and you didn't even understand why you blocked. You now, your mind is allowing yourself to experience it, so there will be no blocks. And you also have ways to remove the emotional charge from those blocks. Tools out there that you can accomplish anything in life. What a gift it is. So breathe that in. Now go to a well, drink from that ice cold water. Feel it just running through your veins, strong and powerful. You feel that power. So walk in that confidence. Walk in that joy. Take on this week with a lifted spirit that, you know what? Bring it on, baby. Bring it on. That's your mode as you step forward in that strength beyond your own. And step out through that next gate. Open your eyes. You're game ready. And next week, I don't know where I'll be doing the game ready from. We're kind of we got our motorhome, and we're gonna experience some, you know, I can do my work anywhere. So it's gonna be kind of a joy, and then we'll come back here. Daniel's gonna go to Oregon for summer school. We've already picked out a gorgeous park, not too far from the campus, that we'll park our motorhome, and you all get to see some real beautiful nature. We're looking forward to it. So beast mode on, baby. Beast mode on. Hope you'll be on our next one. If you've never been through it, you're in for a treat. All right. Talk to you later.
All right. Goodbye.